Hey everybody. Hey followers, friends, family, followers. How's everybody? Everybody good? I hope everybody is. I've had an up and down day. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I just came from the Bounceback Podcast. At the studio. It's the third time I've been on it. It was hard for me to not say anything to the guys at the desk, because I definitely know that they're just not giving us any studio time, and it's definitely really messing with me. This podcast is very important to me. It's very important, and as I definitely I said on Bobby's podcast that I just did for the third time. It's the third time I've been on Bobby's podcast. I don't think anyone else has been on it that many times. So I think that means something. The fact that I've been asked to come back that many times shows that I'm a meaningful guest and I have something to say. It gives me encouragement that the Hard Time Real Talk is a meaningful podcast, and it's something to talk about. It's something to promote, and even asked me what is there, right now to promote. What do you have for your followers? And today was the day that we were supposed to go to Washington Park and get 2 episodes out of the way, but we borrowed the equipment, we rented the equipment, and these motherfuckers don't have everything. They're missing a bunch of things, so we couldn't do it. And you know what? I haven't even got around to messaging Montana yet, which I need to do. I need to do when I get home. I need to be a man and text him and tell him what's wrong. I just don't want to make it seem like this is a shit show, because we had to push it off in a week to today, and then now we couldn't even do it because we don't have all the fucking equipment, and this is all on this studio. And you know what? I banked. When I banked on Hard Time Real Talk, I banked on the studio. I put too much what's the word I'm looking for? I put too much of the success of Hard Time Real Talk on everything working out with this studio, and the studio isn't working out. So right now, Hard Time Real Talk isn't working out, but I'm not gonna give up. One way or another, I'm gonna get all this equipment. I really ask that for all my faithful followers, friends and followers. I ask that you don't give up on me. Don't give up on this podcast, because I'm not giving up on it. Okay? I got real discouraged today. Talking to a friend of mine when I was really thinking about the fact that my mother really doesn't have any faith in this podcast, so she really just doesn't care about it. Because I asked her to use a laptop. It's my nephew's, and my nephew's in South Bay waiting to go to prison for a couple of years, so he's not going to need his fucking laptop for a couple of years, and she won't let me fucking use the laptop, or won't let me even ask him, and I know he'll say yes, because my wife sends him money and basically talks to him. We talk to him, we're trying to go up and visit him, and we're basically supporting him, helping support him. We're not the only people, obviously my mother supports him, but that's really all she cares about right now. So she really doesn't have time to give a fuck about my podcast, because all she cares about is my nephew, who's an adult, and she's treating him like a child, and she's never once said she's proud of me, at all. Not even just about the podcast, but being sober, turning my life around, being a dad, being a present dad. I know that I'm just doing what people are supposed to do in life, but when you've gone from where I was to where I am, you would think that the person that's been there all along would tell you that she's proud of you. And my stepfather, who's been in my life for 35 years, all he does is fucking talk about the past and bring up the past and bring up the fucked up things that I did. And Jackie Kelly, who was on the second episode, the one that fucking got screwed up, we had the video, the one that I posted of us. He showed him the video, thinking like, okay, it's gonna make him proud, you know, just to show him like, hey, look at your son. You know, look what he's doing. You should be proud of him. He basically just pointed out something he thought I was doing wrong, instead of saying like, hey. When I called my mother, he was like, hey, I seen you on your little podcast thing. I forget what he pointed out. He pointed out something, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? You really fucking pointing out like something that you think I'm doing wrong, instead of just saying, hey, I'm proud of you. So I'm getting, it got me discouraged early. That's the point. The point of the whole thing is at my family's house, my mother and my stepdad, who are my parents, they haven't given anything to the GoFundMe, or haven't taken my podcast serious at all. My sister and my brother-in-law both gave $50 each to the GoFundMe, which has helped, because I'm looking at used things. I asked Maddie for help, asking what things would cost, and he gave me a number, which is why I put $3,000 for the goal, and I'm gonna lower that, because that I don't need that. I've been looking at used things. I think I got a laptop. Mark Brown, who is known as Mort BZ on Instagram, and his rap name is a real good kid. He said he might have a laptop for me, which is really gonna help. And I've been looking at used things, and I've been seeing things cheap. So I don't know if everyone could. It's really hard for me to ask, right? I don't want to ask. I just don't want to stop. I don't want to give up on this podcast. I really don't want to give up on this podcast. And I don't have a studio. We don't have a studio right now. We can't get any studio time. We only have one fucking studio time for the rest of July. It's July fucking 8th or something, right? 7th. And I have all these guests. That I asked, and I have no studio time. The bottom line is I need equipment. And I could just go shoot these people anywhere. I'm really asking, and it's something I don't want to do. It's very embarrassing and very fucking humbling to put up a GoFundMe, but I ran out of choices. I'm out of choices. I need equipment. If everybody can just give a little, whatever you can give, $10, $20. I have so many followers. I have 5.3 thousand followers. Not all of them engage, but there's close to 100 that engage, right? there's close to 100 followers that engage. If 100 followers gave $20, that's $2,000. If 100 followers gave $20, that's $2,000. Or even if 50 followers gave $25. Now let me do the math on that. 5 times 20 is 1,000. I think that's 1,500. But that's enough. That's enough right there. That's all I need. That's all I need to get all this shit. I don't need $50. I don't need 4 people have given me $50. I don't need that much. That's not what I'm asking. I'm only asking for like $20. I'm only asking for a bunch of my followers, if you can, to give $20. If you have it. I know times are tough right now, but $20 goes that quick. But that's what we got going on right now. I would love to tell another story, to give a story, but my mind, you know, I know it's story time, car sessions. I would love to try to think of something right now, but my mind is just so stuck on that. I was just listening to it's because it's the first time I really had time to listen to the whole thing by myself, because it's hard at my house with the kids. That I just listened to the whole lockdown podcast I did with Larry Powell and Bob Scally, with Jake's dad. That was a really good podcast I did, and tonight was really a good podcast, real good flow. We really touched on a lot of good things. I did a quick skim through my criminal history, my institutional history, things that were important, things I didn't get to touch on in episode 1. So, episode 1, a lot of shit got cut out of that. So, if there's a lot of things you haven't caught in the past, if you haven't seen my other podcasts, hopefully this one will be edited within the next week. But you can catch the Lockdown podcast on Podbean. That's with Larry Powell and Bobby Scally. That's a good one. There's also a couple other episodes on there with kids I know, kids I basically grew up with in the system, with Sean McDonald and Billy Coleman. Great kid. Billy's a great kid from Salty. So there's a lot of things. I really went at my mother earlier, which is something I never do, but I just couldn't believe. And it's like, I know she took care of him and raised him, my nephew, but I think, you know, she forgets I'm her son. I know I'm a grown man, but I don't really. It's kind of chilly in here. I rely on them for anything anymore, but all I just ask is for a little support. You know what I mean? That ain't much to ask for. Just a little support. Fucking for something that I'm very passionate about. You know, I don't know, maybe in the comments you could tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm asking for too much from my family. My mother's done a lot for me in my life, and I recognize that. But to tell me you're proud of me, to never tell me you're proud of me, in 5 years, over 5 years it's been. It's something I think I have a right to fucking be like, what the fuck? And then I finally accomplish something. I get my own podcast, which has not been easy, which has taken time, effort, right? Caused problems in my relationship apparently, because I've spent too much time on social media trying to post and build a following, and trying to get the right person to do the podcast. I had somebody and it didn't work out. I asked a friend at first. He didn't really give me an answer. Then he ended up doing it with somebody else. And then I was looking. I wanted to do this. I asked somebody else. They said yes, but then their energy wasn't right, so I decided that it wasn't right. And then I finally found somebody. It took time. This took time. You know what I mean? This was time in the making. And it finally fucking came into fruition. Finally. And then now, this. Right? And I have followers, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for everybody that has came along for this ride. And I've had so many people give me words of encouragement about this. And I believe in myself. I fucking believe in myself. And Lorraine believes in me. I know she does. And there's a lot of people that have fucking told me they believe in this. And they believe in me. People that don't engage. People that have just fucking told me. And I don't know why. For some reason they don't ever engage, or I never see their name. But I've asked them. When I on parade day, I seen every person I ran into in Charlestown brought this up. Brought up my social media. And brought up that they were proud, or that they thought I was doing a good job, or they thought it was a good idea. One of them things. And it just gave me more encouragement to do this. So to stop now, I just can't stop. You know what I mean? So Bobby's podcast just really went well. It earlier I didn't want to do it. I didn't. Talking to an old friend, one of my closest friends, when I was really like getting into the whole shit about my mother and stepfather, which I've never even said to anyone. I've never brought up or ever said, except to Lorraine here and there when she will say it, like, you know, they never ever say they're proud of you and this and that. She notices it too. But I've never ever brought it up to another person until finally I did today. And it just totally just fucking all came out of me. And I got very emotional. And it just drained me. And I got really upset. And I almost came to the point where I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing it. I'm not asking people for money. I'm not doing it. Because I thought maybe that if I asked my mother, that maybe my stepfather, if they knew how important it was, that maybe he would just buy the equipment. And she was like, he ain't doing that. Because he has the money. All he does is brag about how much fucking money he has. Right? That's all he does. He gets drunk and fucking talks about how much fucking money he has. And it's pointless when you're 83 years old and you got fucking, you go down the street and fucking spend $300-400 on scratch tickets when you could have gave it to your son's fucking what has become a dream of mine. And I don't know, it's just frustrating. But it definitely had me at the point earlier where I didn't want to do nothing. And I told my wife earlier, dude, I remembered that I had to go on the Bounceback. I remembered earlier, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go on. And I basically told her I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to come up with some excuse. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that to Bobby. I didn't want to be a fucking quitter. I didn't want to be a quitter, because once you start doing that, honestly, like that starts a domino effect. It starts a domino effect, and it's not good. You know what I mean? God knows what that could fucking start in my life if I start quitting now. You know what I mean? Like it has not been easy getting to 5 years. I remember when I couldn't fucking put a date for 5 minutes together, clean. I remember when I couldn't fucking put 5 minutes fucking together. So, making it this far and becoming a quitter it's not something I want to start doing. So, I got up and I made sure I went, and I'm glad I went. I feel much better. Bobby's such a dynamite too. He's a fucking good kid, and you know what? We're alike in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? He's not fake. He's a very authentic, real fucking dude. And I can have a conversation with him that I can't have with a lot of fucking fake people. You know what I mean? And we kicked it beforehand, and I stayed after for a couple minutes to kick it with him. And those are the people you need in your life. Not fucking fake friends. Fake family members. I got fucking fake family members in my life that I just have no fucking need for. No fucking need for. You know what I mean? When you hit this fucking age, and you're just still making excuses for things, right? Excuses. That's all they are, man. When you ask somebody to do something very small and they can't do it, and it's like, you can't tell me, right? Don't tell me you didn't ask me. When you asked me to do something, I don't do it, right? And if you asked me to do the same thing, I would do it, right? When you're at that age, and you're not trying to figure your friends out when you're fucking in your 40s. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You do when you're in your teens. This fucking car. You know, so that's when it's just like, see you later. We're good. I'm done. I'm good. And it ain't like, hey, this is just a fucking fight. We're just having a disagreement. Like, we're done. We're done. I got no fucking time for that in my life. I got kids. I got, you know what? I'd rather have one real friend than 5 fake fucking friends. You know what I'm saying? Fucking quality over quantity. Any day. So, anyways, that's that. I've been doing this, the dads, supporting dads thing on TikTok. I get a couple, some engagement from other dads, but I've been going all on my FYP. It's all, every video I get when I scroll, it's all dad supporting dads videos, and they're all getting so much fucking engagement, these videos. And I go on there and I engage, and I do whatever you're supposed to do with that movement. And I just made another video, Dad supporting Dad's video, and I'm going to post that when I get home. And I'm hoping that gets some traction, because they say keep doing it, don't give up. So that's another thing that I'll keep doing, and don't give up on, so I can get the engagement on there. Actually, you know what, I can't even lie and say I've probably got like 100 followers in the past 2 days from that. Yesterday I went on and I had like 60 new followers, and then I went on later and I had like 30 something new followers. I'm just not getting the engagement on the actual posts, but it has been generating some followers. So I know there's a couple guys I know that do it. I know Steve O'Neill does it, and Josh Big Oak Tree does it. One of my biggest supporters, good fucking kid. That's a good kid right there. He's someone I try to keep up in return the favor for him, what he does, but there's no way I can. He does so much for me, as far as supporting wise, that I couldn't possibly do everything that he does for me. And he mostly posts on TikTok, which I'm not on a lot. I only go on there to basically support him, to go on his posts, and my wife's. And I go on there and engage on all his posts, try to catch up, now to do it the same for my wife. And then I started doing the Dad Support Dad videos and that shit. I'm up to like 1,000 followers now, so I'm trying to get a following on there as well, and so I can kind of stop posting on multiple platforms, you know. So that's that. I'm just about home right now. If you made it for this whole video, I appreciate you. I love you all. I really do. I'm so grateful for all you followers. Lynn, you're the best. Josh, I love you, buddy. Lynn, I love you. Everybody that engages and watches and subscribes, does those things, and is a supporter and a follower. I appreciate you so much, because without you, I'm just a person talking to a screen, and I just appreciate that I have following and people that support me. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.